go, guys. First fire. First fire, modded Picco Boost 28.8. Rich as hell, it's sucking that fuel up quick, already down half a tank. Rossi 9886 41032. Alright guys, first tank, bottom dead center. Let it cool down, ambient temperature, which is pretty cool out here today. Whew. Alright guys, I'm going to show y'all what happened here. So, let's shut her down and I'll explain to y'all what's going on. Alright, for some reason on my truggy box I redid one of the connectors in here, and I did something, I don't know, maybe it wasn't right, so the box wasn't working. I need to redo it. Might have been this new switch, but I need to redo the wiring in my truggy box. I'm going to work on that this evening. So what I had to do was use my buggy box. It's smaller, get it fired up, and then set it on the other box so I have it secure. You can't put the pins front and rear for a truggy on this Duratrax box. It's specific for my buggies. So no big deal. I heated it up 250 degrees and fired it up here, set it over here, and that's what y'all saw. I got her started. There were no issues starting it. The RPM's up, just like Bodagel had commented on my last one. Don't be afraid to give it RPMs to keep it running. You saw it's fat rich. See my brakes, I have it to where it's just barely hitting and it stops on a dime. That way you're not pulling on your servos and stuff. Get my steering set up. Throttle's good. I had it throttled up on here to keep it running. But that's it, guys. Y'all saw the first fire of my Picco Boost 0.28 Power Secrets and AMR modded tank 1. I did 4 heat cycles on it over the past 2 days and just fired it up right now. I'm gonna have to work on this box though. The connectors. So I think what it is my switch went out the other day. If I can find it. The switch that actual toggle that came on the Racer's Edge box, it went out. I don't know what the hell, so I got another switch for it, but everything was too close because the switch is pretty big. So I'm gonna get another. They didn't have any mini switches at the auto parts. They only had the bigger toggles, and it works good on this box because there's a lot of room. But on this box, there's not a lot of room. So I'll probably run up to O'Reilly's here in a little bit and get another mini for it, and then rewire it. I've never had any problems, with the exception of when I first started using a bump box tearing up the wheel. So let's let this thing cool down to ambient temperature, and I'll probably run another tank through it tonight. I won't go through all that with y'all. I just wanted to show y'all. I like to always show y'all the birth of a new Nitro engine, especially this is my very first modded Nitro engine. So there it is. I have record of it and you guys see it. I had to adjust the low on it. Always when you get a new engine, guys, always check your needles. Make sure they're at factory settings. It's a good thing that I did check this one because the low speed was only a half a turn out, and on this particular engine about 5.5, 6 turns out is where it's supposed to be. It's super rich right now. The needle's actually sticking out about 1/8 of an inch, or maybe even a little bit more, maybe 1/16 of an inch out from flush. And I remember that from my old P3, that you come out quite a bit. I researched it back then. A lot of people were saying 10.5 to 12 turns out, but they were referring to half turns. So 5.5 turns out is good for break-in on the Picco. And and it was running rich as hell, but you saw it was running, throwing out a lot of fuel and oil, rich as a pig. So we'll do 3 more idle tanks like that, and then we'll do 2 RPM tanks like you see me do on the P5, where we give it blips, you know, quarter and then half. I'm not doing the full blips anymore. We'll take care of that when we start doing a tune out on the road. Obviously, there's no on-road tuning today because overnight it turned winter on us. So tonight it's supposed to be 39 degrees, wind chill tomorrow of like 29, 30 degrees. And for us Texas boys down here, man, that's cold shit. Cold. Let me turn this off, guys. Show y'all what my daughter Nicole let me use. Because it's winter time, I'm running out of plugs here in the Nitro barn, guys. I use these jumpers for the Wi-Fi. Got one here, and I've got one up here, which lets me get Wi-Fi in here. The Nitro barn is kind of in disarray right now. I'm gonna go over a few things with you guys, but I opened everything up and turned the fan on because of the smoke. I like to do my initial startup on without the tube. You guys know that a lot of times I'll use this exhaust tube, and I hook it up to the exhaust stinger right there, and it goes out the back of the Nitro barn. It's probably what I'll use for the next 3 tanks. I just wanted to make sure I got my fire up correct. I didn't put y'all through all the preheating and firing up and all that right away because it's a little bit of a process. You've seen me do it quite a few times. You've seen Botagel and everybody do it. So basically, I'll tell you what I do is I preheat the engine to 250 degrees, prime it. Some people say prime it prior, but that's why I get it up to 250 first. Gives me a second to get it primed, get everything ready. And by that time, I'm down to about 220, 225. Fire it up from there. And then let it run with a little bit high RPMs. You're not going to hurt it because it's fat, rich, fat. I've seen guys breaking engines at full throttle with 250 degrees, rich as hell. They go through a tank in like 4 minutes, quick. 3, 4, 5 minutes, suck the whole tank, and that's how they break them in. But that's not how we're doing it. We're doing it the Botagel way. I'm trying to do it to the T as Mr. Botagel. Shout out, John. We appreciate all the mentoring and, you know, the guidance that you have provided us so we can do next level nitro like this. I'm pumped, guys. My very first modified .28 super basher, gonna be badass, powerhouse, and I'm stoked, man, and I'm humbled. I appreciate this, you know. I pray all the time for my family and for them to know God and you know, to make me a humble person, so that I'm not mean to people. I used to be rude and mean and you know, just but I'm not like that anymore. I don't know if it's wisdom as far as getting older or what, but man, I'm just so appreciative for everything that I have. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for, I mean, I live in a double wide. I own it. I own my property. My in-laws live next door, man, and I'm so grateful for this double wide. You know, I used to have a huge house, 3,000 square foot house in the city. I raised my children in, and you know, it's just, that's all material stuff, man. Whatever you have, people, make it the best that you can. Make this double wide my castle. And that's what I've done. I've tried to do things here and there. The Nitro barn, the carport, driveway. We've redone a lot of the inside of the house. My wife does want to get a new double wide here maybe in a couple of years, but it's very nice not having any house payments, you know. But happy wife, happy life. Anyway, guys, that's enough about that. I just want y'all to know how grateful I am and how appreciative I am for what I have. You know, it's a lot of hard work goes into it. All right, guys, so let me break down while we're letting this thing cool down what I got going on. As you can see, going back to my daughter Nicole, thank you, Nicole, so much for, we call her Nikki, and a lot of other things that I don't want to say on here, but it's all in good fun. Thank you, Nicole, for letting me use the fireplace heater. It gives the Nitro barn some ambiance and, more importantly, heat. This barn is not insulated. I wish I would have insulated it before I did all this. And maybe I will one day, but it's going to take a lot getting everything out of here and redoing it. So, all right, let's start down at this end. I'll show you all what I got going on. The 8T, I switched out the pipes in the headers. I've got the 9886 Super Strong and the 41032 on the Picco Boost. Novarossi #1. I fixed the clutch. The clutch shoes were sticking open on that last run out there at the dunes, the construction site where I was jumping it, where I ripped the wing off. Fixed the wing, did some more permanent fixings on the wing here with these, I don't know what you call these little spacers here, but I got them when I had my X-Max, and I've been using them for my wing mounts. And what I do is I just drill a hole through the actual wing mount where the screw and the nut would go, you know, and I make the hole a little bit small, and then I run these screws through here, these bolts, and then put some nuts on the end of it, and it's good to go. Now, if I have a bad crash like I did that day, it may rip the entire mount off, but you know, it's secure, and these mounts are pretty tough. That's the Gen 2 TLR mount on there, you know, and obviously this is the Mugen one. This one I had to put some washers in between because this is the Techno wing and it was too close to the shock tower, so I put some washers and some longer screws and I backed it up a little. I'd like to back it up a little bit more. Muggy, let me know. I've seen yours is back quite a ways. What do you get? What do you know, is there a part, some spacers, or a different wing mount that I can use to bring this further back? It's the only thing that I've been having an issue with. Alright, on the P5 the other day I did take it out after the night that y'all saw me giving the RPM tanks. And what I do on these RPM tanks is just blip it. Blip, whop, 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 whop. And what that does is it polishes the piston and the sleeve. I learned that through some of Mr. Bodagel's videos. You guys probably think I'm crazy, you know, giving it RPMs like that, but that's what that's doing. After you do, I usually do 3 or 4 high idle tanks, heat cycles on it, and then I'll give it RPMs. So that's what I was doing on it yesterday. But I did put it on the ground and I did a little bit of tuning, but it was dark outside. That's why I didn't video it. But next day we get that is not like this, not wet. I mean, it can be cold, but not wet. We'll get out and we'll get this on the ground. She's almost race ready. I don't know about race ready, but practice ready. This is not going to be one of my race cars. This buggy is strictly for practicing. I could race it, but when I get serious and I start racing, you know, once I get good and I learn the ins and outs and the lingo and all that, I want to do. I want to build an MBX8. You know, by the time I get to that next summer, you know, they're going to have a MBX9 or a 10 out by then. I'm always way behind the curve, even in the Techno 48.3. I'm pretty sure they've come out with a 48.4 buggy. I'm not sure about the truggy yet, though. Somebody schooled me on that. I don't keep up with a lot of that stuff, man. I count on things that I hear from the Muggy and Bodegel and Family Affair and those guys to push me along. I'm concentrating mainly on the maintenance of my whip, the engines, the maintenance of the engine, learning how to drive proper, learning my endpoints, all that kind of stuff. You know, the things that I need to learn right away. I've got the whip, so I kind of look out to those guys for other information, because I know a lot of them do the research, especially the Muggy. Alright, what else is going on, guys? Hyper 7 still sitting there from Learning to Fly video. We do have the .28 dynamite in there with the sealed back plate. 9886. This is not a super strong, guys. If you guys are bashers, I suggest you get the super strong like that one over there, because you will dent and ding this pipe up. Bashers need the super strong for sure. I got this one because I thought maybe it doesn't have, it's not as thick and it would breathe more, but I wasn't really thinking that we're bashers and they get beat up. So on these pipes, you're a basher. If they have a SS, get the SS on it. 41001 header on there. On this pipe right here, I don't know if I can still see it, but it was, oh yeah, I can. Let me see. It's a, let me see. We'll let y'all know which, I was interested on what pipe that was. That's the one that came with my VZB, and it's a top. Top is a Novorossi brand. So this is a 9853 is this pipe right here. A top 9853, and I just threw the 41021 header on there so I could hang it. Yeah, so I was interested in what it was, and once I started cleaning it up, I mean, it's a little beat up, man, but it'll still be a beater pipe that I can use. Put it on the dynamite here, have a little ripper. 9853, that's the pipe. Alright, before we go down and look at this, guys, let's look up here real quick. Still sleeping on the LRP with the Novorossi carb. Novorossi number 2, Rex Legend 28.8. I took it out of the truggy so we could start breaking in the Picco, modified Picco. And we're letting her sleep. She's got the 4 heat cycles and 3 break-in tanks so far. Just lubed it up, you know, after ran oil in it and drop it at bottom dead center, and we'll just let it sit. Probably gonna send it out to get modded, not sure, but concentrate on this modded engine right now. I don't need another one until I am confident that I can handle this one. So let's work on that one first, and we'll let this Rex Legend 28.8 number 2. I call it number 2 because I've got number 1 over there, my first one. This is number 2 here. Let it rest for a little bit. And then the rest of my crew here, the Maxstar 2.8, that Big Red Dynamite .28 is a workhorse, man. That is a badass engine. It's not next level. It's not super duper quality, but it's good quality, and it's a good nitro engine. They came in the LST Raminator. So I know y'all think of the Raminator as the Primal Raminator, the big one, monster truck, but the first Raminator was the LST. Then we have the OS Adam Drake sitting here. This is still for sale, guys. Make me an offer. I'm at $300 right now. The guy at the hobby shop is on vacation, and but what he wanted to pay me was not where I really wanted to be. It's got less than 2 gallons on that. So, and then the OS VZB, the one that I rebuilt with all the brand new internals, including the bearings, 454 low C and LRP .30. Still a good engine right there, but it's on the end of its lifespan. All right, guys. So when I got and rebuilt the VZB OS 21, came with 2 other engines. There were 3 engines total, and then the brand new parts that I put into that because that was the best block. So the second next best block was this one, and I went through all the internals that I had and started looking at them, man, and these are actually pretty damn good. No issues on them whatsoever. No corrosion buildup. They look pretty good, man. Piston still looks almost brand new, really. Sleeve looks good. Carburetor, I've already taken it apart, all the needles, everything, and I've rebuilt it with new O-rings. Put it all back together. The head is a little bit worn. It's more worn than the other one that I did. And I bought brand new bearings for it. They are in the freezer right now. So what we're going to do, guys, right here, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build another VZB .21. And we'll have 2 of them that I can run out there on the track, practicing or what have you. But and I probably should keep that Adam Drake because I'm going to be running. But I'm not really going to be racing to be racing. I just want to do it to do it. I just want to learn about it and do it. I don't plan on really getting into it that much, but I want the experience over next summer. That's why I want to learn. So, and I won't go anywhere else but our local RCHQ track. I'd like to sell that so I can get another Rex Legend 28.8. And definitely, if I can sell that, I'll definitely get one of these modded. Probably the brand new one modded, or we'll leave the brand new one in the box and send this one to be modded. So other than that, guys, man, I think that's about it. I'm gonna run another tank through here. Y'all don't need to see all that. I'm gonna work on my starter box, my truggy box, see if I can get that situated, and that's about it, guys. So for my documentation, and so you guys can see the first fire up there on the Picco Boost 28.8 modified. It's in the history books, people. There it is. So other than that, guys, I'm going to start trying to clean up in here a little bit, and once the weather gets better out here, I'm going to try and do some running with the P5, get it out there, get it tuned, start getting it dialed in so we can go practice. And then I'm excited to get this on the road as well. I want to see what this modified engine stuff's all about that Muggy's always ranting and raving. Is it really going to be that much of a difference? I don't know. I'll find out. Oh, Muggy, and for anybody else that has a Picco, you know that it has a smaller exhaust outlet on the back here where you always put your chingadero, your exhaust gaskets right here. I've got a couple of Nova Rossi's in here, a couple of Dynamite ones. But I found these online, and they do say for 21, but I talked to the guy, and they're for 21 and up. So 21, 28, I don't know what else Picco had higher than that, but it's part number 7105. It is an original spare part. It's a weird gasket. It's just round like a piece of tube. But I tell you, man, it works perfect. It's tight. It's original equipment. The guy still has like 30 of these things. So you guys that have Piccos that are using the Dynamite gaskets or the associated gaskets, it works badass, Muggy. You can get them. Part number 7105. Just Google Picco exhaust gaskets and it'll pull it up. I have 3 of them. So, and they fit badass, man. There's no leakage, no nothing, man. It's awesome. So anyway, just thought I'd point that out. And instead of doing the associated and all that, man, I'm probably going to order 3 or 4 more of them and just stock on them because they're definitely a discontinued item. They list it as a vintage Picco item. So get them if you got them, if you need them. All right, guys, I'm always missing something when I'm doing these videos. Here's my electrics. T-Baby is my grandson Steve, and we call him T-Baby. These are his electric trucks. It's Andromeda brushed. And check this out, David, man. LST XXL Mini, man. It's badass. Exact replica of the XXL one. And all the way to the dual steering servos. And this one is in mint condition. The body's not perfect because my grandson runs it, you know. This is what he cut his teeth on, these two. We're about to get him into some Nitro stuff. So I think that I'm going to finish rebuilding this LST2 here. Oh, David, one thing, man. I accidentally sent you my 2-speed clutch bell. But no worries. Keep it for a spare. You're not going to be able to use it with that titanium gear, though. Don't let anything happen to that titanium nitrate bell because you cannot find them. You can find the gears, and I think I sent you a couple of extra titanium nitrate gears, but you cannot find the 2-speed bell titanium nitrate. So take care of that one. Don't ever let nothing happen to it. I searched and searched everywhere. So, and you can get the regular 2-speed bell, so just keep that one in case you need it or you need it. I know you have another LST too, so hold on to that one. But it's just funny, I went to look for it and I guess I put it in the box with your stuff. But no worries, man. Don't send it back or nothing like that. They're 25 bucks. I'll buy another one. So other than that, guys, another Nitro engine coming. We'll see how it runs. I mean, they're used parts, but they look pretty damn good. So I don't think I'm going to have any issues. These were some of the other ones. This one is pretty much spent. Crank. A lot of caster buildup on this one. Alright, guys. Oh, one other thing. In your bump box, you have, this is the stock bearing that goes on the wheel. And I moved a guy like 5 years ago, man. And I picked up, he had this package of bearings for skateboards. And they're, what is it, BSB, or, yeah, BSB speed bearings. 2 tubes of them, brand new. And they're the exact same bearing that goes in these wheels. So I got 2 tubes. Anybody ever needs a bearing for their wheel, let me know. I got you. Alright, guys, I'm just rambling on now, so let me get back to this Picco, clean up the Nitro barn a little bit. I need to fix that box. Oh, one other thing, man, I almost forgot. I ordered the Sumo racing skid plates for the Techno. Those will be here any day. We're using a CT06 Novarossi plug, the standard one that comes with the 28.8. But at Muggy's request, I ordered 3 of the CTGF Ultra short body turbo plugs for the Picco. That was a recommendation from the Muggy. I ordered those. What else? Oh, and a new wheel for this one. This wheel is getting pretty low. So if y'all remember the other day, I did the wheel on the Truggy box, the Racer's Edge. But I need to do the wheel on that one. So those things, I want to order another 41032 pipe, and I want to order another 9886 super strong pipe. We got the 41001 and the 9901 here on the Rex Legend, and the 2096 Novarossi with the 41031 header on the P5. Alright, guys, that's it. I'm out of here, man. Remember, treat people the way you want to be treated. And I'm going to play with this Picco Boost badass modified 0.28 Nitro engine. So, we'll see y'all after a while, man. Stay warm. I'm out.